NoDQ Galaxy. We are live with the NoDQ.com live recap of Friday Night Smackdown for May the 6th, 2022, Wrestlemania Backlash. It is, in fact, this coming Sunday night, live on Peacock. We have a few things to talk about, a few happenings on this show, so let's get right to it. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. Thank you very much for your continued viewership and support. And if you're new, I hope you enjoy the video. Consider subscribing over at youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. All right, so we kicked off SmackDown with the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. She was scheduled to have a match against Aaliyah. This was a rematch from last week's Beat the Clock challenge, and Charlotte was unable to win Beat the Clock because the time expired before Aaliyah tapped out. We had Charlotte cut a promo, and she talked about how the people there in Long Island, New York, paid to see her. And she said she got screwed by the Beat the Clock challenge, said that Aaliyah tapped out before the time expired, and said that Ronda Rousey is going to cry like her own baby at WrestleMania Backlash in the I Quit match. And then maybe Ronda Rousey will leave WWE for good. Charlotte then said she is going to pretend to be Aaliyah, are going to pretend Aaliyah is Ronda Rousey, excuse me. And Charlotte then took a cheap shot at Aaliyah. We had no match. Charlotte just beat down Aaliyah. Ronda Rousey ran down, and there was a huge fight between them. They brawled. Referees, officials ran down. Sean Davari ended up getting a big boot from Charlotte. You had the pull apart brawl, the let them fight chant. The typical segment here where you have them fighting and they manage to break through the officials and continue fighting. I feel like WWE has done every gimmick that they usually do to build up matches for Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. They did a contract signing. They did a Beat the Clock challenge. They did the pull apart brawl. And I still do not care about this match. I hate to say it. But yeah, they will be having an I Quit match this Sunday. This really did nothing for me, though. It's just whatever. Let's see. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Hamp. I appreciate it. Says, so let me get this straight. For 3 weeks, they advertised a unification match. Now it's never going to happen, or now it was never going to happen. Why do they insist on BSing me? WWE could pretty much get away with false advertising at this stage of the game. I mean, 20 years ago, it would be a terrible idea. 25 years ago, a really terrible idea when you had WCW running pretty strong. But now WWE is so profitable, they can get away with pretty much anything, and false advertising, whatever, they can pull the whole card subject to change. They do not have to charge people $50 for pay-per-views anymore. So it's like, whatever. AEW, on the other hand, if they pulled something like this, would not be good for their bottom line because, well, people have to pay the $50, $60 for pay-per-views. But yeah, it is blatant false advertising when you advertise a tag team unification match and then you do not deliver on it. Walter Cruz with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Walter. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Says, the words acknowledge would have made a great drinking game tonight. How many can they say in one night? Geez. Well, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I will acknowledge the acknowledge segment in just a little bit, but thank you for that, Walter Cruz. We had our first match of the evening which was Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks. Sasha went right after Shayna with a Meteora, worked over the arm of Shayna, so Shayna getting a little bit of a taste of her own medicine. And Sasha was even using a page from Butch's playbook with the joint manipulation. And then Natalya got on the apron, provided a distraction, which gave Shayna Baszler the upper hand. The kids were firmly behind Sasha Banks. You could hear the high-pitched "Let's go Sasha" chants. And WWE tried something different. And you can see the video over on NoDQ.com. During the commercial break, the fans in the arena could hear Michael Cole and Pat McAfee doing commentary. And Pat McAfee was making references to Long Island, said they were going to be back from the break in 10 seconds. And then once the commercial break ended, the fans in the arena could no longer hear the announcers. It'll be interesting to see if WWE keeps doing this and this becomes a regular thing. Anyways, Sasha and Shayna were on the outside of the ring. Sasha sent Shayna into the table and was slamming Shayna's hand into the table. Back in the ring, Sasha hit another Meteora, but Shayna Baszler kicked out of it. And then Sasha took Natalya out of the mix for a bit, got back in the ring, but then Shayna hit a small package to Sasha, and Natalya grabbed the feet of Sasha, which allowed Shayna Baszler to secure the 1-2-3 victory. And afterwards, the four of them were in the ring fighting. Naomi managed to fight back. Sasha and Naomi cleared the ring. There will be a tag team title match on next week's show. Match was good. Filler, but it was good. We had a couple of backstage promos, one from the Usos. They said Riddle talks too much, said that they are the antidote to the Viper's poison. And then RK Bro cut a little promo. Then we had Happy Talk with Happy Corbin, everybody's favorite segment in WWE. Madcap Moss quickly interrupted on the big screen, said that Corbin looks like he is trying out for a Pitbull cover band, said that the tattoo artists just try their worst ideas on Corbin, and it looks like Hot Topic threw up on Corbin's chest. Corbin was tired of the jokes, dared Madcap Moss to come to the ring, so Moss did that, and then Moss told more jokes, said that Corbin could be the lone wolf again. However, wolves actually have hair, and said that Corbin could be the big bald wolf. And he actually got the crowd to chant this, and then Corbin just walked away, left the ring, and that was that. And yes, this was in fact the same Corbin that ended the career of Kurt Angle. Segment was kind of lame in my opinion. Really did not do very much to get me excited for this match, although I'm not really sure if there's anything that they could do to make me want to see this match. I just have little to no interest in it. That's the bottom line. We had a Drew Gulak video package, and then Drew Gulak had a match with Gunther, Walter, whatever his name is. Man, this guy is now like a total 1980s foreign heel. You had the fans chanting USA, and Drew Gulak basically got his ass kicked. He got hit with a big boot, and then Walter put on the sleeper hold and then finished off Gulak with a power bomb. Yeah, just the standard stuff here with Walter picking up another big win. We had a recap of the Rick Boogs injury from WrestleMania, and a recap of Shinsuke Nakamura getting attacked by the bloodline. So it looks like there will be a follow-up to the Nakamura-Roman Reigns storyline. Nakamura did a little backstage interview, said he has not forgotten about what the bloodline did, and one day he will get a piece of Roman Reigns. And then as he took his leave, we could see Sami Zayn listening behind where the interview was taking place. So Sami Zayn, the stooge, listening around, snooping around on behalf of the tribal chief Roman Reigns. Apparently Roman doesn't have a TV in his locker room and isn't watching SmackDown for himself. Drew McIntyre was interviewed and said the WWE Universe will get a little sneak peek for what's going to happen on Sunday, hyping up the main event segment. Then we had a tables match. Apparently, this was the first tables match on SmackDown in 2 years. I haven't really been paying attention. I'll take their word for it. We had Sheamus and Ridge Holland going up against Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. Good match here. I mean, really solid work from these guys. New Day double-teamed Holland, and then they targeted Sheamus. Sheamus was selling his leg a little bit. Kofi and Xavier used the table as a weapon. And then New Day tried to suplex Holland through a table, but Sheamus moved the table away. Pretty standard table match spot. And then Kofi jumped on the top, and maybe this was not such a standard spot. Kofi was on the top rope and jumped off all the way to the outside onto Sheamus, and they went through the barricade. After the commercial break, the bad guys got the upper hand for a bit. Sheamus hit the white noise to Kofi on the ring apron, and then Ridge Holland set up a table. He was placed on it by Xavier. Xavier went up to the top, but Sheamus knocked him off. Kofi then hit Sheamus with a trust fall to the outside of the ring. And then Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise, the tip, which sent Sheamus on the table. Xavier Woods was going to do a big elbow drop off the top rope, but then all of a sudden, Butch showed up. Butch was missing for the past 2 weeks. Butch is back, and Butch was the deciding factor in this match. Bro kick to Woods, and then Ridge Holland and Sheamus finished off Xavier Woods. They double choke slammed him through the table, picking up the win, and Butch continued his attack on Xavier Woods after the match. So it was a good match. Predictable with Butch at the end, but still, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match. We had Paul Heyman backstage asking if Caleb Braxton was flirting with him. And then Sami Zayn approached Paul Heyman, said he had some information about Nakamura, talking about Roman Reigns, said he'll handle Roman Reigns. Roman doesn't need to worry about it, and told Paul Heyman to let Roman Reigns know. Then Sami Zayn went to Adam Pearce, said that maybe he could take care of Nakamura, and Pearce was like, well, we can just do it right now. And Sami Zayn was not happy about this. He did not want to get right down to it, but he did get like a match or a minute or two for the match, so that was that for him. We had before this, so Sami Zayn actually got a little bit more than a minute or two. He got about 10 minutes maybe, because we had another Lacey Evans video. This was part 5 of her very sad story about her father. He overdosed 2 months before her WWE tryout, and she said she kept fighting, and she vowed to one day become the SmackDown Women's Champion. We then had a really bizarre moment where the ring announcer said that Lacey was requesting respect from the audience and wanted the people to applaud her as she made her way out to the stage. So Lacey Evans' music hit. She's got new music, very patriotic-like music. She came out in her Marine-like gear, and the crowd did pop for her, but I thought this was really strange. Like the whole requesting respect thing, like felt very heelish. And, they spent about, 5 weeks now trying to build her up as this sympathetic baby face. What are they doing here? This was really odd. Like the requesting respect thing is going to get her booed. So I don't know if they're swerving us and she's actually going to be a heel. I'm really not sure. I am confused now what they're going with and what the direction is for this. I mean, the whole thing felt like she's a babyface now, but then they did that heelish intro for her. Walter Cruz sent in a $2 super chat, says the intro to Lacey was heelish, but she acted face. Yeah, and I mean, it was very much like a Kurt Angle type deal from 1999, the only real athlete in WWE, Olympic gold medalist, American hero. He comes out there and then he gets booed and starts questioning why he's booed. I guess we'll see if that happens. If that's what they're going with Lacey Evans. I don't know. It's quite bizarre. So we had Sami Zayn versus Nakamura, and Pat McAfee was very excited for Nakamura. Dueling chants from the fans. Felt like the women and kids were cheering for Nakamura and the men were cheering for Sami Zayn. The usual good match from these guys. They had one of the best NXT matches of all time in 2006 at the TakeOver Dallas. Or was it before that? I think it was the TakeOver Dallas. Yeah, because it was in Texas. Or was it San Antonio? Well, it was 2016, whenever it was. Michael Wayne, you know all this stuff. Tell me where this match took place. Which pay-per-view it was. Which TakeOver. Anyways, good match here. Back and forth between these guys. Zayn countered a Kinshasa with a Michinoku driver, but Nakamura kicked out, and then Nakamura came off the top. Michael Wayne says Dallas, so I was right on that one. Nakamura came off the top with a knee to the back of the head of Sami Zayn, but Zayn kicked out, and then Nakamura put on an armbar. Zayn turned it into a pinning combination, but Nakamura kicked out, and then Nakamura went for the Kinshasa, but Sami Zayn rolled to the outside of the ring. Nakamura went after him, but then Zayn caught Nakamura with a haluva kick, and then Sami Zayn got back into the ring just before the count of 10 and beat Nakamura via a countout. Sami Zayn always finding a way to win or avoid a pin or submission. That's his gimmick now, and you know what? It's fine. I know people hate the countouts and DQs, but Sami Zayn's so fun with it, and he's in the ring flexing and celebrating like he won the world title. I like it. I'm cool with it, and we'll probably see this dragged out a few weeks. It's fine. No biggie here. Good match with these guys. And then we had our main event segment of the evening, which was the confrontation, RK Bro with Drew McIntyre. And here's the whole acknowledge moment that was referenced to earlier. So Drew McIntyre did Roman Reigns' acknowledge me line. And then Riddle said he acknowledges that Randy Orton is his best friend. Randy Orton acknowledged that he, at one point, beat Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Drew McIntyre acknowledged that he won it back. And then Riddle acknowledged that the past is the past, and the crowd applauded that one. And it was also acknowledged that the Usos have been glued to Roman Reigns' ass. And then McIntyre said that he acknowledges Roman Reigns is the biggest piece of crap in wrestling. And then we had the Bloodline finally having enough. They stormed down to the ring. There was a huge brawl, and RK Bro hit the RKOs to the Usos, and Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore to Roman Reigns to send him packing to the outside of the ring. Good guys got the upper hand on the go home. Very interesting. I was going with the good guys to win at WrestleMania Backlash. And now I think I am going to change my mind officially. Noah Foster for the NoDQ Predictions League. I am officially changing my pick. I am going with the Bloodline to win this Sunday. They looked really weak here in this final segment. Makes me think they're going to pick up the win, and McIntyre will have to find another way to get to Roman Reigns. Maybe McIntyre wins Money in the Bank and decides to cash it in at Clash at the Castle. And in the meantime, Nakamura feuds with Roman Reigns. Like they did tease that Nakamura is going to do something with Roman Reigns. So I'm changing my pick. Bloodline wins on Sunday. Now that the titles are not on the line, Bloodline gets the W. That's what I think is going to happen. And that was SmackDown, everybody. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Walter. Says, a win's a win. Damn, but funny how we thought Nakamura was getting a title shot with Roman. Then they do this. What was the count out? Doesn't really make any difference. And I'm guessing they will do a rematch. Nakamura will get his win back. And then Nakamura will, at some point soon, maybe Hell in a Cell, face Roman Reigns. And they may even drag it out. May keep it going longer. But yeah, now I'm wondering if Drew McIntyre wins Money in the Bank and decides to cash it in the United Kingdom. Either that or he's going to face Tyson Fury, one or the other. Overall, SmackDown was all right. Some good wrestling. Matches were good on the show. Build-up was so-so. For a go-home show, I thought it was pretty run-of-the-mill. The pull-apart brawl, whatever. I mean, nothing really got me more excited for the pay-per-view. That's the problem with this show. There just wasn't anything of substance to really get me hyped up for Sunday. So I am going to give the show a C+. Not a bad show at all, but I felt like they could have done more to build up the pay-per-view. It was a very by-the-numbers SmackDown. I would say somewhat recommend based on the quality of the matches, but again, it wasn't one of those shows where you need to watch it. It was pretty skippable in my opinion. There have definitely been better SmackDowns over the past year, and there have been quite a few Raws better than this SmackDown as of late. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I really do appreciate your continued viewership and support. And again, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and tell a friend. Spread the word about NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Have a great weekend, everybody. Caleb says nice glasses. Well, with a MacBook Pro, I need the glasses to be able to read the comments while I was struggling in a couple of the recent videos. So had to change things up with the glasses. Hope it wasn't too much of a distraction. Anyways, guys, take care. Enjoy your weekend. And remember to say yes to NoDQ.com. See you guys next time.